All right, I'm recording in three, two, one, go. Hey guys, this is Rise, and I'm here with Moltrap, bringing you the next game of the OSL Group G. This should be an exciting one because we got some big names again. That's right, Firebat No Firo has made it past Jehun in the epic first two games to get up to play against Mental Zero, a previously semifinalist, I guess, to be seated in his group. And so Firebat Hero has got a lot of work cut out in front of him if he's going to beat this player and move on to the next stage. It should be mentioned, though, that Firebat Hero is actually pretty good against Zerg with a 53% win rate, and Zero's got a 50% win rate against Terran. So, the only thing I could say is I expect an actually fairly evenly matched game. I mean, we've seen Firebat Hero beat Jadong repeatedly. And we've also seen Zero beat some great players, many great players, repeatedly. So I'm expecting a great game out of this. Moltrap, what are your predictions?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this as well. Like I said before, two of my favorite players, both of them extremely creative players. And I'm not sure what I'm going to predict here. I'm going to have to give Firebat here a little bit of an edge, maybe, just because I know he's capable of such good TVZ play. But I don't know. It could really go either way. Zero has obviously the capability of pulling out some really great stuff as well. And I guess actually, come to think of it, Zero's been playing better all around generally lately. Like you said, getting very far. I think he got to, I think it was the semifinals in the last OSL. I'm sorry, MSL. It may have been I don't remember. Anyway, but the thing is Zero actually he was one of the few players to get far in both Star Leagues last season. So definitely showing himself to be a very good player lately. They are going to be cross positions. This is going to be on Eye of the Storm again. So we're going to see a much longer distance there, and that could come into play in terms of if there's an M&M push. It also could come into play. It means that the mutas are going to take a lot longer to get over to Firebat Hero's base if we see a normal muta play or something like that. So I don't know. It might come into effect here, but I have no idea who's going to win. To be honest, it could really go either way.
I hope Firebat Hero 14 CCs. That would be very cool because I haven't seen that in a while, and it would be interesting play. Looks like we are going to see a 12 hash coming from Zero in the meantime, as well as that 12 scout, which is very popular these days, especially when you don't know what your opponent's going to go. It's definitely a great idea. I mean, there's nothing more important in this game than scouting, assuming that you're on the same level of play as the person you're playing against. And really, I think that players who don't put that early drone out to scout are doing themselves a disservice. Just because you have an overlord that's moseying its way over across the map doesn't mean that you'll get any information by the time it finds the other player. So certainly it's a good strategy to follow, and because of that, he's going to scout his opponent a lot sooner than he would otherwise with that overlord, especially in these cross positions. So anyway, it looks like Firebat Hero is playing fairly standard as well so far. Very early in this point in the game, of course, he's just put a supply depot down, but I'm guessing he's going to do a barracks after that and not actually go for a 14 CC, which would be a little crazy, although again, it certainly would be creative. There's the barracks, actually, after all. Going to be able to chase out that drone or kill it very shortly. But we saw a spawning pool going down. I'm wondering if Zero's going to try to put some early pressure on Firebat Hero, or will he stick with some other strategy later in the game, rely on mid-level tech to start doing some damage?
Yeah, and the drone scout has become pretty much required in Zerg versus Terran play lately, just because Terrans have been going for so much, going for mech so much, and the Zerg kind of needs to find out if they're going mech early on. Firebat Hero, not really much of a mech versus Zerg player, though. He's good with bio. I'm glad he's sticking with bio, at least so far. It's probably going to work out better for him. By the way, I did double check. Zero got to the quarterfinals of the OSL last season. He was in the round of 8, and unfortunately had to play Jadong in the quarterfinals and got knocked out at that point. But anyway, it looks like we are going to see pretty normal play here. Just going to see some bio, 1 racks into command center, very standard. And also the counter with the 3-hatch build, probably a 3-hatch muta play, also very standard play. So I'm actually excited to see some sort of normal play. Sometimes you see too much mechs, too much craziness. it can be hard to deal with. But I mean, as fun as it is to see standard play every once in a while, these two players are the players I would want to see do something crazy. So maybe we'll see that instead. A couple Lings running around, and Firebite here having to micros Marines. Oh, they get caught on the ramp, getting confused with their pathing. 3 Marines versus 3 Zerglings. 2 Marines down so far, and oh, Firebite Hero's trying to run back, see if he can get some more reinforcements there, and now he's going to bring in that 3rd Marine. But quite a lot of damage for 3 Zerglings there. Not boding well for Firebat Hero so far.
Yeah, and I know that I haven't been commentating a lot of games lately, but I've obviously still been paying attention to the scene, and everybody these days is saying how they think that Zerg is overpowered and things like that, which may or may not be the case. It happens from time to time where a race somehow comes up with some really quality builds that it takes the other races a while to figure out to catch up with. But you know, if you've been watching Flash play in particular, he's done a lot of unorthodox things and changing his timings in order to deal with that. And I'm curious if Firebat Hero has been trying to take a page out of a book like that in order to try to do a little bit better in even though it looks like standard play, end up doing a little bit different builds with his Medic Marines. Go for a quick 4 racks to put some early pressure on, break the front door because the Zerg isn't ready for it. He is going to get those medics out very shortly, and there are the 4 barracks actually, so he may be doing a little bit of that after all. If he can get some early pressure on, but he's got a long way to travel on this map, but if he can get all the way across the map with those units before Mutas can come out and really do a lot of damage, if he goes heavy on the turrets defense, he could be in good shape. We see some Speedlings over here though. Looks like Zero's kind of getting a little ballsy, trying to do a little bit more damage with these Lings, as he got some lucky shots early on, taking out a Marine or 2. And he's actually making more Lings, so he may be committing to this early on and trying to do some heavy damage here. But Firebat Hero, he's got 3 medics and a decent grouping of Marines, and now with those 4 barracks up, I don't think that this is going to work out for Zero. But Firebat Hero can't just run in willy-nilly like that, losing all of his units. It looks like he lost about 4 Marines right there, and Zero taking that opportunity to expand. So Firebat Hero's got to be a little bit more careful with these units, because Zero is most definitely a much higher caliber player than Jaehoon.
Yeah, definitely a bigger match here. Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen it a lot lately, where Terrans traditionally love to move out with their first group of Medic Marines and try and put pressure on the Zerg right before their mutas come out, force them to make sunken colonies. And what Zergs have been doing is making like 1 or 2 control groups of Zerglings and surrounding that group of Medic Marines, killing them off handily, and then the Terran is stuck with no defense at all for when the mutas come out. And so not quite as catastrophic as that for Firebat Hero, only lost a few Marines. Zero decided not to make a ton of Zerglings, but still, you got to be careful these days. And Firebat Hero almost losing a bunch of them here. But now he does have +1 weapons, by the way, and the mutas are on the way to his base. Excuse me, he had 3 full hatcheries there. Firebat Hero has turrets up around, not a ton of turrets, so he's going to have to depend on his M&Ms for defense here mostly. And for some reason, Zero is engaging those M&M in the field instead of running around and trying to harass the economy. And in the meantime, Firebat Hero getting some more turrets up.
Yeah, so Firebat Hero doing exactly that, trying to put up some solid defense with turrets while he moves out with that Medic Marine force in the middle. But now, with Muta Ling, this is actually going to be very dangerous for Firebat Hero. He loses a medic out on the field. That is not a good thing to be doing at this point. But if he can continue to whittle down those Muta numbers, he'll be in good shape. At the same time, it looks like he's going for the 3rd base, trying to deny that 3rd gas, which is critical for the Zerg to obtain in order to go to the next level of tech. And it looks like,
Ooh.
Zero, a little careless with his micro over there, loses another Mutalist. That is not something he should be doing. Another large force of Medic Marines coming to back this up. He manages to take out what looked to be a Hydralisk over there. I don't know what it was for sure. Mutalist trying to continue to go in, but again, these Medic Marines in the backfield coming in to reinforce over here, and a lot of damage being done to those to that force of Mutalists and Lings, and just enough so that the next grouping of Medic Marines may be able to take out this base. And it looks like Zero is trying to use that ledge to his advantage, doing a very good job of taking out a lot of the Marines right there. He's got a Hydra out. Lurker Egg is forming. Can't Firebat Hero get there in time? It's going to be close.
Yeah, he's just trying to get these Lurkers in time, but Firebat Hero's really focusing on this 3rd base, trying to get it down. He's bringing in, here comes the Zerglings. Is he going to turn to the Zerglings? He turns to battle the Zerglings. The Mulisk going as well are barely going to take out those Medic Marines before the last few Zerglings die. And Firebat Hero fails to kill that third base. Although knowing his style, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a dropship plunk some Marines down right behind that base before too long. But he's going to have to get that going pretty soon because Queen's Nest is down. We're going to see Hive Tech before too long. And like you said, that third gas is going to be really, really crucial. It means he's going to be able to start producing lurkers. And you know, that choke point, I got to give props to Firebat Hero for making that attack before the lurkers came in. It was a nice little timed attack. And because that choke point is really, really going to be difficult. He's basically not going to be able to run Marines through that choke into that third base anymore with lurkers in the gap there because it's so small. But anyway, he's still not out of this yet, obviously, since both of them have 2 bases going. I'm sorry, Firebat Hero has 2 bases going, and that's kind of an even match for a 3-base Zerg when you're doing M&M.
Yeah, so, I mean, definitely the fact that he's got these science vessels out, I only see one, though. I'm a little bit worried. He's definitely sticking heavy in the bio build, of course, and I think that he really needs to dedicate more to those science vessels. While there's a quick lull in the action, I just want to say real quick that so lame to say this. Follow me on Twitter, SC2GGRise. I don't know if you have one too, Moletrap, but I literally just on Twitter put up that I was casting this with Moletrap. So if you guys are interested in getting the details as we do it, be sure to follow us on Twitter. I know Diggity's on there too, DiggitySC. So yeah, if you want to find me, SC2GGRise, I have a whopping 1 follower right now. Great Irradiate going out of that cloud of muted, though. In the meantime, and no separation. My God, it takes forever to separate. Serious damage going to that entire grouping. Look how weak. They're all in dark red. And now that is horrible, horrible news for Zero. If he lets that happen again, or if he runs those into carelessly into the group of Medic Marines over here, he's just going to lose that entire control group. And now Firebat Hero very wisely pushing up on the what I would imagine is going to be the third base again. The question is he going to have enough defense in place with those lurkers? It looks like there is a significant amount of lurkers. 6 of them will be able to hold this back by burrowing in, unburrowing, and burrowing and unburrowing as he waits to get up those defilers, as well as Nidus Canals to really properly defend his bases. Again, they're the mute out on the field. They're all very weak at this point, though, and so I'm not sure how much damage they're going to be able to do. But he is delaying Firebat Hero. At the meantime, though, Firebat Hero has 6 racks just pumping things out right now, and I would imagine that this is just basically a dispensable force for him. And there, as Moletrap had predicted, actually, there's the dropship heading down to the main base, and if Zero's not careful, if that doesn't get scouted, he's going to be in danger. But I think it was scouted out on the field, actually, by one of Zero's overlords. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and Firebat Hero is able to push through this gap just because he's got those tanks to force the lurkers back. Uh-oh, Firebat Hero looks like he's going to go down to the south, head into the main. There's Scourge waiting for him. I don't know why he hasn't comsatted this. Oh, he's going to suicide the dropship. Oh, the Scourge are chasing. The Scourge are chasing, and Firebat Hero, for some reason, decides to turn his dropship into the Scourge. I have no idea why he did that, but instead he's going in with massive Medic Marines. Did not spread them out very well, and most of them get slaughtered. And now, oh my God, he just threw away a bunch of Medic Marines against those lurkers there. Should have just stayed with the tanks. And instead his entire army gets, his dropship and his entire army both destroyed in a matter of moments. And running into some lurkers carelessly in the middle of the field as well, just to top things off. So a horrible turn of events. Firebat Hero had an advantage until about 60 seconds ago, and now Zero is in really, really good shape.
Man, it hurts me to watch this. This is very sloppy play coming from Firebat Hero at this time. I mean, he's just not doing a very good job of just keeping track of his units, and Zero very, very wisely placing random lurkers around the map in strategic locations where Firebat Hero is likely to run his units, and they're just getting destroyed. It's disgusting. And now Firebat Hero is heading out into the middle of the field, trying to go to the third base again, to what I can only imagine will result in failure at this time. You can look at his force. So many were taken out by 2 lurkers that he's already going in with a weakened force. The one thing that he is doing is he's getting to that Defiler early on, but the Defiler has plenty of time to throw down 2 swarms to absorb this, and until he can get more Defilers over there and backups. And again, he's got those Nidus Canals, so he's going to be able to do that just fine. And that empty bunker is defending the command. What are you doing, Firebat Hero? Finally, but he's sending units over to back this up, but I think there are more Zerglings than there are Marines, and the Zerglings are actually maybe going to be able to take out the Marine force if he doesn't have the help fighting uphill. No, he does manage to take everything out. Slightly poor micro by Zero at that point, but he did some damage early on in that little attack, and definitely kept Firebat Hero on his heels some more. And man, I think Firebat Hero's just got to kind of group his head together a little bit, get these forces under control, and then maybe he can get back into this game, because right now I feel like he's at a severe disadvantage as Zero gets up his 4th base.
Yeah, Zero trying to send in another attack. Zero is really intent on taking out that 3rd base of Firebat Heroes on the right side there that I didn't even realize he'd gotten up there. He's got a group of lurkers and a Defiler over in that direction. Firebat Heroes counterattacking, trying to take out Zero's new base at the 10 o'clock position though, but he's going to be able to Nidus some Defilers over there and probably going to be able to take care of this. We'll see if he's got Zerglings running in. He's got more vessels. Oh, not protecting the vessels very well at all. Again, a little bit of poor micro on Firebat Hero's part, running his vessels the wrong way. Instead of towards the Marines to back them up. And now he's got a bunch of medics but no Marines here, so I don't know. But he has managed to defend that 3rd base of his own at the 3 o'clock position, so it's kind of a little bit of back and forth here. And for some reason, earlier when you were saying that he was going after the 3rd base there, I was thinking of like a who's on first sketch with bases. Like, what's the name of the defense on his 1st base? No, what's the name of the defense on his 2nd base? I don't know. That's his 3rd base. Anyway, yes, but Firebat Hero is going to have to deal with these swarms now. He's got almost his 4th gas going. If he can protect this base, he'll have 4 gas, and that'll be horrible. But it looks like he is going to be able to maintain pressure on here. He's got the tanks. He protects the tanks, and there's no swarm quite close enough to those tanks to force Firebat Hero back, so he might be able to take out that 4th base there.
Well, if he's able to take out that 4th base, I think he'll be able to take out the original 3rd base as well, because really it means that it's just not possible for Zero to effectively defend this. But no, another good swarm going down, a little bit of a flank coming from both sides at this point. And I got to say, I do like Firebat Hero's use of D-Matrix in this game, though. He is putting it to good use. He's protecting his tanks with it. Those certainly are the important units at this point, doing a lot of damage to both Lurker, Ling, and Defiler alike. And one other thing that he's doing great here is he's continuing to reinforce these attacks. And this time he's actually doing a pretty good job of getting out of the way of Lurkers, as you can see here, as he irradiates the crap out of those units. What I'm curious of, though, is what is that streaming line of units on the map? They're all Zerglings. Are we going to see Ultralisk come out here, or is Zero unable to? Oh, and man, and just look at those Lurkers just melt to irradiate, and Link's trying to come in, getting out of the tanks, a big flank coming in. Zero beautifully choreographing this attack, taking out all the tanks. We're only left with medic Marines. They're trapped between a whole bunch of swarms at this point, and Zero has successfully defended this. So Firebat Hero's got to do more than this in order to win this game.
That was really nicely done. Going in there with the attacks from both sides, and really taking out those tanks was pretty important, because those tanks had been alive for a long time and had been, pelting away at his lurkers, pelting away at his hatchery. So even though the medic Marines were relatively unscathed, then it was pretty important to take out those tanks, because Firebat Hero has been focusing more on these vessels, finally, even though he hasn't been protecting them very well. And so he hasn't been able to produce extra tanks there. Zero getting up another base in the bottom right, Firebat Hero dispatching it immediately, and Firebat Hero taking a 4th base now at the 12 o'clock position, and he's got SCVs there already. So they are even in bases now, with simultaneously killing off one of Zero bases and taking a 4th of his own. So they are even in bases now, and Firebat Hero with double the supply count of Zero at this point as well. Things looking really good for him, but never underestimate Ultras and Defilers put together.
I would have to agree, and I'm just wondering if we're going to see him. And Firebat Hero, you know, you mentioned a good point. He's on a lot of bases, and I didn't give him enough credit for that earlier. And really, that's going to definitely bode well for him as his game continues on. But Plague! Oh my
monster
Plague!
on everything!
Plague-oo! That was insane-o! That was really very, very well plagued. I mean, he got a huge grouping of units there. But Firebat Hero is taking out those Ultras. Those Firebats are actually being very effective with the Lings, of course, as well. But the Plague now is taking effect as these units are all getting one-shot, and Zero's going to clean this up. So Zero, you know, the thing is, Firebat Hero has really had map control this whole game, too, now that I really think about it. And that is definitely something that's going to work to his benefit. But now Zero is starting to make some inroads into this with an attack at the 12 o'clock position. Firebat Hero is going to have a tough time defending it, even though there's only one Ultra against Medic and Marines. That Ultra is going to do a lot of damage until those numbers get sufficiently high, of course. But really, I mean, Firebat Hero in general is doing a great job. Oh! Whoa, whoa! What the hell? How did that happen?
In general, doing a great job.
Oh, man, his plane just hit a bird, and that bird exploded, and everybody on the plane died. It was horrible. Anyway, yeah.
There's something on the wing.
I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk after that.
That's understandable. I'm surprised that here we go. Zero finally doing some harassment on Firebat Hero's 3 o'clock base. I'm really surprised that he hasn't been doing that very much. Firebat Hero has a really nice choke point to defend there, but I think all he would need to do is put a couple lurkers in an Overlord, drop behind SCVs every once in a while, and it would have been a really, really good thing. But Zero has not been harassing him at all. Of course, barreling through the front with Defilers, Swarm, and Ultralisks is another way to go about it as well, I suppose. And actually, Zero coming back and attacking Firebat Hero's 4th base as well. If Firebat Hero doesn't defend both of these, things could swing right back in Zero's favor because Zero just took a 5th base again at the 9 o'clock position. So basically, if Firebat Hero doesn't clean this up and keep these bases, if he loses both bases, he'll be in real bad shape. I don't know if he's even mining at his natural expansion anymore. And losing a vessel now. Oh, battle cruisers in play! Battle cruisers! Yes! Oh, there's the creative Firebat Hero coming out with battle cruisers to deal with the Ultralisks. And battle cruisers are actually a pretty good tactical move against Ultralisks. Although, wow, not going to help to protect his vessels there. But wow, battle cruisers in play against the Ultras. Wow, this is just ridiculous. Again. But yeah, he's lost a lot of SCVs here, so even though he's playing really well, I don't know, Firebat Hero might still be in a bad position here. I mean, it's kind of teetering on the edge for both players now. It's just going to depend on if they can keep their new bases or not.
Well, if he can continue to be effective with those spider mines, or I should say start being effective with those spider mines, he could actually do some damage. Oh! Hitting those Ultras, but no, it was actually taken out too soon. But that'll certainly weaken his forces significantly. Also, that Science Vessel Cloud is going to go a long way. But the question is, oh man, he's got those battle cruisers right out in that 3rd base that he's been trying to take out forever. Plague going on all of them. Oh, he tried to separate them, but Zero had a perfect plague there. But man, Irradiate is doing a ton of damage here. So at the same time, I mean, both sides taking some serious damage here. And he brilliantly taken out the Nidus Canals. And now there's not much to defeat this small force of battle cruisers. And this is very reminiscent of his game on Neo Harmony against Jaedong, when he just had a couple of battle cruisers in the top left corner of the base, taking out Jaedong's base. But no, it looks like Zero has learned from this and puts in sufficient Scourges to take out most of the battle cruisers. But there's still one there to keep taking out these bases. And if Firebat Hero can take out these bases, that will be certainly a game ender. But a couple more Scourge coming in, and it looks like Firebat Hero going to absorb a couple more hits. Man, battle cruisers are tough. But he's got a large force, actually, trying to take out this top left. Can he do it, though? I don't know! Yeah,
critically with the battle cruiser is very, very low now. But it was only softening up these bases, taking out the Nidus, taking out the Sunken, so these Medic Marines can come in and wipe things up. And there they are. wiping up the drones. Might even get the hatchery, but no, he's going to turn and try and kill off these ultras. The Scourge getting taken out, so the battlecruiser's still in play. The vessel's still there as well. Somehow the Scourge didn't land very well, and Firebright Hero's brilliantly going to use a medic block and back up, but no, ultras from the other side as well. So that force is going to get taken out with some nice flanking there. But during the course of all of that, the hatchery gets taken out, so it was 0 back to 4 bases. Firebright Hero back to 3 bases as an Ultralisk forces him to, it looked like, lift up over there. No, I'm sorry, he didn't lift, but it takes out lots of SCVs. 10 kills on that Ultralisk before the battlecruisers finally clean it up. So a lot of back and forth here. Firebright Hero is mined out of his natural at this point, but he's still mining that 12 o'clock base. If he can protect it here from these last couple Ultras, oh, but he needs to fall back now. Those 2 Ultras are more than a match for those Marines. He's backing up. Zergling's in play as well. Vessel's coming in here, but he could, radiates the Vessels, but he's going to have to withdraw his SCVs from there as well, so he's not mining at all right now. He's not mining minerals. And, a swarm and some Zerglings are going to come in to try and take care of that base as well. So Firebright Hero is definitely Yamato's the Defiler. Oh, man, but he's not mining at all. This is really, really bad position now for Firebright Hero.
You know, Yamato is actually just a rough translation from English to Japanese. That actually means your mother. And that's what you say every time Yamato something. That's right. But I think this is going to be it for Firebat Hero. As you can see the look on his face. I gotta say though, this definitely was an entertaining game. We saw 5 battle cruisers and Ultraling Defiler Lurker play, which is always fun, and GG coming from Firebat Hero. So it looks like we're gonna see a game 2 on this after all. Can Firebat Hero come back? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see and keep watching. So follow along and be sure to watch the next game. Don't forget, check out both me and Diggity and Moltrap if he's on it on Twitter. Diggity SC, SC2GG Rise, and Moltrap, whatever. And see you next game. GG.
GG.